Another month gone, 4 months in the books now. Welcome back to the Tullibody St Serf's FC YouTube channel. My name's Moza. Let's get right into what's happened the past month, as we've now actually played our first game and become a proper football team. And yeah guys, thanks very much for coming back, tuning in again. Apologies for the quality of this video being a wee bit less than before. We're still sorting out the camera from the game we just played at the weekend. I'll talk about that as we go as well, given it was our first game day action. But a lot has happened and we want to tell you about it, so I thought I'd dive right in and get to the point. Just while I'm getting started, remember again, if you haven't done already, click that subscribe button down there so you don't miss any future videos from us. We've started to experiment with a few different things content wise, so it won't just be these video updates coming to you every month. We've started, you'll have seen the crossbar challenge from earlier on, and we're going to be bringing a few more bits of content to the channel, mainly involving the players, because let's be honest, you don't want to see my mug every week. It's all about them and about the boys that get involved and play for the club. So we'll be showcasing them in all sorts of different ways and having a bit of fun with it as well. But first things first, so early on in April we firstly started selling merch for the first time. It was a one-off training shirt with our pals Monarch, so thank you very much to the guys there for helping us out. A lot of you got them, so they are coming through mailboxes this month. I believe it's next week they're due in for most people, but there's some going all over the place. So it's not just the UK, we've got one going to Canada, one going to Malta, one going to Israel. It's a bit mind-blowing to think that Tullibody shirts are going to be abroad, so everyone that got involved with that, thank you. If you missed out, don't worry, there will be more opportunities coming down the line to buy stuff, including hopefully our proper home shirts that we'll get to shortly and kind of show you how they looked, because humble brag, I think I've done pretty well with them. Other thing to look out for on the merch front, when we play our charity game next week at Allo Stadium, we will have club pin badges available as well, and basically by popular request, and they look pretty good as well. So I will obviously share the details, all the details of that charity game as we get closer to it, and we'll touch on it a wee bit later in this video as well. But the other big thing that happened at the start of April was that we moved our training. So up until that point we had been at Lawrence Hill AstroTurf, which is basically the only floodlit AstroTurf near us, that the only option for us through the winter. It's pretty pricey for an army club our level, so it's been great to get back into the middle of the town where we're going to be playing games in the Civic Centre. People have started to notice us more, which is a great side kind of aspect of it as well. But we're on the grass, we're training, we're getting the fitness up, and to be honest, it has been not before time. It's been a really good move for us, because it has also allowed us to get the women's team going as well, which was a massive thing. So we now have men training on a Wednesday night, women training on a Thursday night, and hopefully both will be in leagues next season, which leads me on nicely to the first major announcement we made this month, that we have been rubber stamped for the men's team into the Stirling and District Amateur Football Association and the league therefore as well. So we now have a home, and we can officially confirm that we are in that league. It'll be a 10-team league from what we understand, unless there's any late arrivals going in, but we are obviously really excited to get started. It'll be around about the end of August, start of September. We'll get our first proper league matches going. We'll be in all the Scottish amateur cups as well, so the main amateur cup, the big prestigious one, will go into the East of Scotland Cup I'm sure as well. There'll be one or two other local cups we'll be involved in. Again, we will share all the details when that comes down the line. The other big announcement that followed that was the SFA have granted Tullibody St Serf's Football Club a Quality Mark award. So we achieved the Bronze Quality Mark requirements, that's the word, towards the end of March, start of April. We got that rubber stamped. It took us 3 months to get that, so I'm really proud of that. That's probably our biggest achievement to date, in all honesty. If you don't know what the quality mark is, basically clubs go into that if they want to firstly prove their legitimacy, to show that they're not just a ragtag bunch of kind of boys with jerseys on, like the way it used to be at army level, the kind of stereotype of pub football. But we are properly well run, we are for the community, we're obviously doing things the right way, we're getting coaches trained up properly with our courses, we've got our trained first aiders on hand. It's just a way of showing that not just on the field but also behind the scenes we're running things correctly, and we now aspire to move up the quality mark levels as well, just to further emphasise that. And that's the journey we want to take ultimately. We want to be a club that not only does things right on the field but also off the field and progress as far as we can possibly go ultimately in the full pyramid of both the men's and the women's game. The other thing with regards to the women's team you may have noticed is we have got a title sponsor, so our thanks go out to DD, much appreciated. We'll obviously share their details as the season goes on. So we'll get Footium on the men's side, we've now got DD in the women's side. We're delighted because that means that we can now fund kits and so on for the women's team as that gets going and we get into a league. We have got a note of interest into the BIFA League now, the SWFL. Whether we go that route or not depends on the level we can get the team to, because we won't put the women's team into the Pyramid League straight away if they're not ready for it. So we'll judge that over the next month or so. We've only just started doing one training session so far, so we'll probably come to a decision towards the end of this couple of months coming up, which is when we would need to anyway, to see if we want to go into that BIFA League. But if we're ready for it, we'll be in there. So that would be us going into, having double checked, I believe it would be the 4th tier, if I remember rightly. But it would be the first Tullibody team in the Pyramid Leagues, which would obviously be a huge step for us. So fingers crossed, we'll see what happens on that front. Before we get into the game that we just played at the weekend there and everything positive that came from it, it's not just been the players preparing and getting ready to represent the club. Myself and one of the other coaches, Michael, had a couple of days at Celtic this month on the International Coaches Convention, which I must be honest was outstanding. So big thank you to everyone at Celtic, from Ange Postecoglou all the way down to just everyone that's involved in the youth side, and they just totally open their doors. They're fully transparent, show you everything and anything they do, and it's a brilliant learning experience. I can't recommend it enough to any coaches that might consider it next year. I learned a ton from it, and I probably will go again next year, in all honesty, because there was still things that I probably didn't pick up that I would pick up again a second time around. Special shout out to Fran Alonso, who takes the Celtic women's team, who is outstanding and so passionate as well. If you get a chance to meet him, say hello and listen. As Ange said, the best thing you can do when you meet somebody with experience is just shut up and listen to what they tell you, because Fran, especially when he got down to analytics and data, outstanding. Can't recommend him enough. And then that leads us on to the weekend. So we played an Interscored friendly just the Saturday there. It's the first time we have had game action for the lads, like a proper set up game. We did this deliberately so we can prepare for the 2 games coming up, that we could get the logistics right, not just on the field but also things like putting the nets up, making sure they do them right. The first one might have gone on upside down for any eagle-eyed viewers. Let's pretend it never happened. But we've got it nailed. I'm pretty happy with it. We've got a few things we need to work on, just generally going ahead into the next games. There was a wee bit of litter left by people watching, so we'll get a bin down, things like that. Just little things you don't think about necessarily when preparing for a match. But on the whole, went really well. The guys all put great efforts in, scored some cracking goals as well. We'll share the goals just now. I've probably already got them on shown for you, but 6 goals in total, and the kits looked pretty decent all in the bargain as well. So I am a happy man with everything that went on. Obviously the fight for places is now going to intensify, because the guys have seen each other in a game situation, and I have a nightmare job, an absolute nightmare job with the coaches trying to work out who's going to play in the next game. They'll all get chances off the bench as well, but it's the starting lineup they all want. So wish me luck, because it's going to take a hell of a lot of working out. But yeah, looking ahead into next month and the weeks to come, the main thing on our horizon is keeping the women's team starting as strong as it has got off the ground. We've got 2 games coming up now for the guys. Firstly on the 20th of this month against Hearts of Beath from Kirkcaldy, and then we've got another game which is a big charity game at Alloa's Recreation Park, where we'll be hosting Scotland's YouTube team on the 10th of June. So that will obviously be open to spectators. We'll be fundraising, as we announced, for Sam H for the Scottish Association of Mental Health. Great charity, brilliant cause. All proceeds will go to them, so it's not just a partial thing. Cost covered, everything else goes to the charity. And that's probably going to be what we'll do for big games going forward into the season. If we get any big friendlies organised, we can use as charity days. We'll designate a charity as we go. We won't have one for the whole season. We might pick up one every couple of months and support them. I think that's better that way, to spread the love, I guess would be the way to put it. But we'll also give the guys their chance to nominate their causes that are close to them, and hopefully build a bit of a team aspect into it as well. But if you want to come along to either game, Tullibody game, you just turn up on the 20th, stand outside the pitch and watch us. If you want to come to the Alloa game, we're trying to get food sorted and all that kind of thing as well, so hopefully if we can get the pie hut open, there'll be your usual food and drink options. We'll build a bit of fun into it as well, and obviously you'll get a chance to meet the YouTubers if that's your thing. Also, there's a lot of stuff happening the next couple of weeks off the field. So first things first, we have touched on the koozie in previous videos that we want to ultimately make our home base of operations. As I'm recording this, we are about ready to officially lodge our documents for a formal asset transfer request from Club Manager Council. So we have had a wee bit of help with that. I need to thank everyone involved. You know who you are. I won't go too into details as yet. We will also publicly be sharing our document that we are using to try and justify the reasons for this. We're not doing it selfishly just to have a hub for the football club, although that will be lovely. It's genuinely a community aspect to it, because what we can do with that is it goes further than football. It'll be a proper community facility that we can look after and manage. Saves the council the hassle of trying to do anything with just a desolate grass park that doesn't even have goals there anymore, and hopefully they'll be reasonable to our request, given that it's probably going to cost the best part of £500,000, which is a scary amount of money to say out loud, but we have funding available that should be able to achieve that, and we'll obviously confirm the specifics down the line when that comes as well. But to give you an idea, when I'm talking about building the club, and us as a committee and as a general club of members looking to build up, this is no little thing. This is a big thing, and if it goes right, it could be huge for the local town, and hopefully a model for other clubs to be able to look at and build on as well. So I know one or two clubs have gone this community asset transfer route, one particular in Cambuslang. If you have any questions or you have any experience in this, please do reach out to us as well. We're always happy to share ideas and go back and forth and different things, because ultimately the old rising tide raises all ships. We want every club to have better opportunities and better facilities, and that doesn't happen if we don't talk to each other. Simple as that. The final thing is we will also be lodging our documents this month to formally incorporate the club into an SCIO, or a Seio as you'll hear it referred to, which basically designates us as a charitable incorporated organisation in Scotland. The reason for that is because we're set up not for profit anyway, so our aims are purely for the good of the community. Nobody's going to be taking any money out of the club. We're not there to make profit. There's a reason we only charge £10 subscriptions from all our players, when other teams charge a lot more and we could charge a lot more. The whole point is we want to open up football for everyone in this area. If you don't know Tullibody, it's not the best well-off area in terms of money, but the people here are brand new, absolutely brand new. It's a proper working class blue collar community that everyone is getting behind the club, and if we can do this the right way, we can hopefully help to raise the town up in different ways as well and get a bit more funding in, because ultimately, the same as a lot of towns of our size in Scotland, a lot of things have been left behind, let's be honest, through the pandemic, and there's a lot of struggles for people in terms of mental health and access to proper facilities, not just for health but recreation, all that kind of thing. Anything we can do to try and alleviate pressures, we will do, which is why I said it's not all about football. We will also be looking to do community workshops and outreach and all that kind of thing as well. But naturally, those plans will be formulated as we go along, and I'll keep you posted with them. Again, if you have any expertise or think you could even help, that kind of thing, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. But other than that, I think that basically sums up the month that was, April going into May. As you can tell, a lot happened because I've talked a wee bit long on this video, but thank you very much for watching. I appreciate you tuning in again. We will obviously be sharing some more video content going forward in the weeks to come for the players, from match highlights, all that kind of thing. If there's anything you want to see, go down to the comments, let me know. Anything else in particular that you feel you might kind of benefit from hearing about a bit more, or anything you're more interested in, again, sound off in the comments. Best thing you can do for us to help spread the word of these videos is liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and commenting down below. So I thank you very much for watching, and until next time, catch you later.